Tennis folder. Okay, so I'm going to show you today how to sign up as a new captain with a team already registered on Tennis folder and get your team signed up. So first thing I'm going to do is click on this login button in the corner, and in this case I don't actually know my password, so I'm going to request a new password. Okay, and all I need to do is type in my email address. So I will type in my email address here and click on email new password here. And what that's going to do is it's going to send me an email, and it says further instructions have been sent. So I'm going to go back to my email, and I'm going to open my message, and sure enough there's a message to me with a link to reset my password. So I can go ahead and click on that link and click on the login button here, and this allows me to set my password. So now I can set it to something that I am familiar with here and type it in, same password again, just to confirm that I typed it in correctly. And I can put in my first name here, my last name here. I can upload a picture here, but that's optional. Put in my gender. NorCal ID is optional. Put in my USTA ID. I can put in my phone number. Let's go ahead and put in my phone number. Okay, and then I click on save. If I wanted to look at the terms and conditions, I could have clicked on that. Okay, great. So now I'm going to click on this orange button in the corner, and it's going to take me to my home page. And sure enough, I have my team here listed. This is my team for the upcoming season. I'm going to click on that team, and I can see the team homepage. So on here, this is 18 and over season. Let me show you a couple of little convenient buttons. You can put messages in here for your team if you wanted to. Just start typing in there. This is just a convenience button if you wanted to email the whole team. And team details. Okay, so this is basically a little bit of information on the team. These are the food assignments that are going to be made during the season. And I can actually configure this. Let's say that I decided, you know what, we don't actually drink a lot of beer and we want to replace this with another appetizer. I could do that, for example. And you just kind of click in the box and type, and then it just, when it turns green, it shows that it's registered. You don't have to hit save or anything like that. So these are going to be the food assignments for the 8 people that are in the lineup. And the nice thing is that Tennis Folder does food assignments automatically, and it actually traverses through the different options. So everyone gets a different item every time, and you're not going to have, you know, someone stuck with the main dish every time, or someone stuck with the white wine all the time, or whatever the case may be. Okay, and then if I go back to this title, I can click on it to collapse that section. Now the next section is my team roster, and of course right now there's just me on the team. I haven't invited my team to join. So I need to do that. And the way to invite my team to join is I click on these 3 little lines here in the corner, and that opens up a menu, and there's a big menu here, and I say add player to team. And all I need to do is I need to just put in all of the email addresses of all of my players here. You can separate them by semicolon or by comma, and then just click on this button, and that will actually register all of your players onto your team. Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and collapse that menu, and that's what will populate your team roster here. Okay. Next thing is practices. Tennis Folder actually allows you to schedule practices and basically manage the team practices. And again, if you want to add a practice, you go into your captain's menu here on the left, and you add a practice. And let's say you have a practice captain named Wendy. So you could just put in the practice notes here, Wendy will call to reserve the court. You can put any notes in here that you would like. Bring water, we're having a social afterwards, or whatever the case may be. And here you put the practice date and time. You just click in this little box, and it opens up a menu of the month. And let's say we've decided to do practice on Tuesday nights. So we're going to start on the 21st. And our practice is going to be at 7 p.m., let's just say. All right, so we put that in. Repeat count says a lot of times you want to do practices weekly, and let's just do practices for the next 10 weeks. So that's actually going to add 10 practices starting this Tuesday for the following 10 weeks. And you say add practice, and that actually is going to add 10 practices. Okay, so now if we go down here, you notice that there's 10 practices scheduled Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Now everyone on the team can start RSVPing for their practices. When the team registers and logs in, they're going to see the practices listed. And if they're available for a particular practice, they just need to click this button. So this is our button here. So I'm the captain, and this coming Tuesday, I want to participate in the practice. I just click this button once to say I am available for the practice. If I wanted to say explicitly that I am not available for the practice, I would just click that button again. So 1 click is a yes, and 2 clicks is a no. All right, so that's kind of how you set that. And then if you click on the practice title itself, so let's just click on this one, for example. This one will show us everyone in the practice. So you'd have the entire roster here once you've added the roster, and who's all available, and then what number they came in on. So as people start confirming that they're available, this number will increment. And after you're done with confirming the practices, you can click here and finalize the practice. That'll say basically, okay, we're done. We're not taking any more RSVPs. We have a full practice. And that'll notify the players that are in the practice. These options up here basically help you decide if you want to, limit the number of players in a practice. Let's say you only have 1 court. So maybe you want to put a 4 in here. And what that says is basically after we hit 4 people that say they're available, do not open the practice to any more people. That's just the limit because we only have 1 court available. And this option here, even only, is checked by default, which means that when you do finalize the practice, for example, if an odd number of people, like if 7 people had said that they were available, only 6 of them would be confirmed because obviously 7 people cannot play a tennis practice. So it's by default only going to the first even number of people that said they were available for the practice. And maybe, we know it's going to be a rainy week or whatever, and we want to delete the practice this week. You can just click this as a captain and just delete the practice. So by the way, these options right here, the max players, even only, and finalize, are available to all the team players. So you can actually assign folks on your team to manage the practices, and they can go in and do these things. Okay, so that is the way you manage the practices. This is also another icon that's interesting. You can actually click on this to add this practice to your calendar, and it'll go onto your mobile calendar, and you can keep track of practices, and you don't have to manually type them into your phone calendar. And these buttons here are, again, you can email the whole team, you can email people that are not available, or you can email confirmed players on the practice just as like little convenience buttons. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go back to the menu that we were in, or the window rather. So that's a little overview on practices. And then the matches will just automatically show up here. And similar to the practices, they will have a button where you mark your availability or not as members, and folks come in and effectively sign up for the matches. All right, well, thanks for watching.